Mic check, 1 2 1 2. This is MC O'Dizzle in the Hizzle, and you've just stumbled across the best podcast you'll ever listen to, with your hosts Owen and Phil. What? You don't know what podcast you're listening to? Well, let me tell you. It's Wave of Absurdity, Modesty, a free-flowing deformity, masters of perversity, complexity and obscenity, runs from authority, furious in captivity, mounds of reality, penetrating sanity, worldwide infamy, debating with hostility, rarely with nobility, filled because perspicuity, Owen gives to charity, a model of society, a picture of the world to be. This is absurdity. Hey everybody, it's a podcast. Welcome.
Did you just drop something?
Nope, to Wave of Absurdity. Now we're going to start off, it's going to be a new tradition. We're going to start off by rating a fortune cookie that I totally legitimately bought at a store, and we're going to read it, and it's going to foreshadow the podcast. So if it's a bad fortune, I suggest just turning off straight away. Although You've already wasted your download, so keep it. It says, perhaps you've been focusing too much on spending.
Let's see how that relates to... Ooh, I bet you I know what that's about.
Go on.
We have spent too much time preparing for this podcast. I have a strong feeling that this will be the podcast, this episode will be the one we point to and be like, yes, this is our flagship. This is the Wave of Absurdity.
We have done an absurd amount of preparation, which I feel is all going to be for naught.
What? Why?
Because it's all going to crumble. But we have some good features. I'm going to read the list today because Phil doesn't like doing it anymore, because apparently he's too big for those boots anymore. Well, somebody's got to do it, and I will do it. Coming up, we have some gay banter. We have a scandal at Wave of Absurdity. Our first ever scandal.
You like saying scandal.
Scandal. It's going to be crazy. Absolutely crazy. We've got heroes and villains. Everybody loves heroes and villains. That feature's never going to go.
Yeah, I was going to say we don't have that. That's gone. We'll read an answer or two, but that's gone.
Thanks for ruining that. We've got a new feature called Street Pass, which I will elaborate on later. We've got, I've written it down as is, so it's Phil Shitty News and plus Phil Shitty News Game. So look forward to that one. We've got Feeling Phil, Fill in the Blank, the two staples of the show. Master Debater. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to be debating. Go on, wait and find out, or we can just skip. Lateral Thinking and MouthPhil.
Yes.
So
a different type of MouthPhil.
It's going to be good for a change.
All right, I'm out of here.
So
This is not cool anymore, man. Fuck this. Haha, acting. Owen.
Yes.
We have talked in the past.
No, we haven't.
About
I just met this guy.
Your love of children, and I don't mean physical love. I mean, when you go to the zoo or the monkey fest or whatever the hell that was.
Need I say that a lot of that got cut out? So you're just making me sound like a huge creep at the moment. But thanks. Yes, carry on.
All right. Well, I have a question. Have you ever witnessed? I guess this is a local term, a kapow, when you're showing somebody something in your hand, or you're like, oh, what's this? And they just smack it out of your hand, and kapow! They just smash that shit right out.
I'm sure it's happened, but I can't.
I was getting some ice cream from the ice cream man, and these kids were in front of me, and I'm going to sound like a creep. I'd like to point out that I was legitimately at a playground with a little boy. So we were waiting in line for some ice cream, and the kids in front of us, who were obviously unsupervised, being all rambunctious in line, and the one kid has his hand out, and he's counting his money, and the other kid, kapow, smacks all the change out of his hand. It goes flying everywhere. all the other kids are laughing. Most of the adults are laughing too. And the kid that got kapowed stomped on the other kid's foot, and the kid just went down. Like screaming and crying. I'm like, holy Christ. Didn't stop me from getting ice cream, but it was a very violent reaction.
You witnessed a standby stomping, and you did nothing. You did nothing. You are just as bad as everybody else in that situation. You didn't step in. You didn't save that.
What do you mean step in? What am I supposed to do? Jump in between the point the kid lifted his foot up and brought it down?
No, you just be like, hey, come on, kids. Calm down. And
well, the damage was already done.
Yeah, but then you help pick up the money, give it to the kid, and be like, there you go.
No,
that would have stopped a foot stomp.
How? It was like instantaneous. The only thing I was concerned about, I was telling my son, like, you want to be the kid that did the stomping. That's all. You don't want to be the stompy. You want to be the stomper.
I can just imagine you standing there holding back your son, like, let this play out, boy. Let this play out. Let's learn from this.
Here, throw this knife in the middle, see what happens. I guess I was bullied a little bit as a child in that I think it should be played out a little bit. Not to the point where serious injuries
Plant
occur.
maces! Get them in an arena-style setting and let them deal it out.
The Thunderdome, little bungee cords, chainsaws hooked up all over. That'd be awesome. Yeah, were you ever bullied when you were younger? I had a kid spit on me, and right as I was about to, we were at a dance, and I don't know why this kid didn't like me. He just didn't, but he totally right the fuck on me while I was waiting to get something to drink, and I was ready to burst into tears. I remember that fucker's name too. I'm not going to say it, but
No, call him out.
Chris.
Oh, Chris, you little shit. You've been called out on a very unsuccessful podcast. How do you feel? How do you feel?
He might be dead. Sixth or seventh grade, yeah. And Dwayne Marr, he was an older chap. Stepped in. He didn't really know me. I guess he just saw it and felt it was rather disgusting. And he pushed Chris, and Chris stumbled backwards, fell on his ass, but slammed his head on that fucking concrete wall. And then Dwayne got suspended. I know. All right. Humorous podcast.
Oh, man. Good times.
I don't know. Just everything seems to have such a violent reaction. But, hey, I doubt Chris ever spit on anyone again.
Tell me about, like, overreactions. I had a knife pulled on me for...
What? In your childhood?
Yeah, in my childhood. There was this dude, and he, like, stalked my sister. Like, he really wanted to get with her. And if you ever talked illy of him or my sister having a relationship, I mean, she thought he was, like, a repulsive fat piece of jelly, which she was. He was sort of like a
like
real
jelly?
life... Yeah, he was like a real-life version of Patrick, from SpongeBob.
No.
Patrick Star. You're too old.
I don't. All right. Well,
Patrick
come
Star.
on.
I mean,
all right, fine. I'm sure some people will get what you're saying.
So
anyway.
it was like that, and just a blatant overreaction because he started humping a mattress in front of me, and he.
Sorry. Unexpected turn of events.
Yeah, it is pretty. When you think about it like that, it is pretty weird. And he starts, he starts humping it for like, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds or so, and he just turns his head, looks at me, and goes, "Oh, that's your sister, that is." It's not funny. And I just said, "Oh yeah, you'd be so lucky, fatty." And then he jumps up. I'm like, "Oh God!" And I run out run out of his house, and then he comes. He comes out of his house with a fucking knife and starts chasing me around. Yeah, the kitchen knife starts chasing me around the street. I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" I'm only little. I'm like, "Oh God, my little legs can't keep up." And he ends up, thankfully, because he's bigger than me, he ended up, puffing out.
Okay. I thought the way you were telling this story, I thought maybe he fell and impaled himself.
If only. But he threw it at me, and it got stuck in the sole of my shoe. So I'm running. I'm running with this like knife stuck in my shoe, and every time I ran, it like made like a boing noise, and you just hear like a screaming, panicking child, ah boing, ah boing, ah boing.
That's a pretty remarkable throw.
It was horrific. I mean, I've had 2 knives brought on me. I've had a bike pedal thrown at me. Who does that? Who fucking gets so angry that they throw a bike pedal?
I guess I would think that was weird if they took the time to remove the pedal and not. I'm assuming it was just handy, and he's like, "I'll get Owen."
Oh, just stay here. Give me my pedal. Oh, when this comes off.
3 hours later.
Like, the great thing is, it missed me and hit my friend in the face.
That is a great thing.
Because I was like, sweet, I'm not hurt.
But you still get to enjoy somebody else being hurt.
And because they hurt him, they ran away as well. So everybody was just like, oh, well.
Win-win.
Everything worked out better. I'm sorry, man. I just was like, whoop. Pedal to the face. Brilliant.
Oh, Christ. I wanted to read this Would You Rather to you to get your opinion, what you would do. But I think we have to mention something about the Would You Rathers.
On my notes, it says for me to disown Would You Rather. Would Owen rather. So I hereby denounce my love for Would Owen rather.
It's been excommunicated.
It sucks.
From the church. It doesn't suck. It just is
wouldn't.
totally not appropriate for contest or emailing in stuff. It's just too convoluted, too bulky. But that doesn't mean that we can't find out what you would rather have to do. Would you rather have to steal from a blind man or a Girl Scout? I mean, if you really had to steal money to buy food, to live.
Which one's carrying more? I'm assuming.
Can I rob them both?
I'm assuming if I rob the Girl Scout, I'm just gonna get the cookies, or is it money? And can I like take a box of cookies on the way?
They have equal amounts of money.
This is like, this is why we're getting rid of the feature.
It's just a question that you should know by now. There's no specifics. It's left up. They have equal amounts of money. Which one?
But I don't think any of them is bad, so I'm just trying to look out for what I could get most out of. I would probably go for the girl, because they're probably not going to fight back.
All right.
I could just fend off a little girl. Just go away.
You put your hand on her head, so when she punches, it's like a cartoon. She can't reach.
Exactly.
Police call beggars who pretend to be blind. They call them blinkies. How about that?
It's a bit ironic because their eyes don't work.
Oh, boy. Speaking of Would Owen Rathers, we had a very special guest in a pre-recorded. All right, let me get something out of the way here. Jack M. We had somebody on, and they
Scandal!
won you a gift. So hopefully we'll have already talked to you, and you will have that. It's the Humble Bundle that's floating around now.
God, how many games is that?
I don't know. It's the one that has where you make the minimum $5 or whatever. So those 2 extra games.
You paid $50. Whoa, you're giving away such a great value game. Whoa, it's like, I think 7 games maybe, or 6. Anyway, it's a good prize.
Yes, so Emily successfully guessed 2 Would Owen Rathers. We recorded it, however, trying to keep that down to 10 minutes, which is what we wanted to do with this particular segment, was impossible. So, because we have something else, Emily, who has been around, I think, since the beginning, she won, and she opted to give the prize away. And she named Jack M. as the recipient. Is it Jack M? I think it's Jack M, yeah. So, kudos there. Yes, and while Emily was brave enough, I guess, to enter the lair, there was a little snafu as we did 2 contests, Would Owen Rather, and Owen presented her with a lateral thinking, which I believe is the clip we are going to play now. O'Neill, you're up with your contest.
Oh, hey.
Lateral thinking, eh?
Oh, yay.
A man lies dead next to a feather.
Maybe you should read it in goddamn English first.
Yeah, come on.
What's a feather?
A man lies dead next to a feather. How did he die? All right, you've got 1 minute to ask me as many yes or no questions as you can, and that minute starts now.
Okay, was the feather involved in his death?
Yes.
Has the feather come in contact with him in any way?
Yes.
Is shaving cream involved?
No.
Okay. Let's see here.
Feel the pressure.
30 seconds.
Is there any other elements in the... Is there any, other things that could have possibly killed him?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know.
This is tough, isn't it? That's all I wanted to say. This is tough.
8 seconds.
Is the guy allergic to feathers?
No. That's your last question.
Oh.
Can I have your answer, please?
Okay. Let me think. This is gonna be really, really weird, isn't it?
Gonna need your answer.
Can I ask a question and take a shot when she's done? For not just for shits and giggles.
You want to... Okay, yeah.
Unless she pulls an answer out of her ass.
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to give an answer.
He's a... I don't know. He's a sword swallower at a circus, and he...
I need an answer now! I need an answer now! Give me an answer now!
I know how you feel.
You have to give me an answer or she will be disqualified. Can I have your answer, please?
He's a sword swallower in a carnival, and someone tickled his throat with a feather. And he gagged or something.
Interesting.
I call cheating!
What?
I call cheating!
I just pulled that out of my
There is
ass!
a scandal!
Oh, wait.
There is a scandal on Wave of Absurdity, because the exact answer is the man was a sword swallower in a carnival show, and somebody tickled his throat with a feather, causing him to gag.
Really?
Emma, that's pretty impossible from the things you were asking beforehand.
I don't know, I just pulled some random...
This is cheating! I will not have this scandal!
I was talking to Lauren about some circus thingy earlier, so it just came to my mind, I guess.
We don't have a way to handle this.
Usually we don't have dirty cheaters on the show.
I'm cheating!
Oh, Emily.
Yes.
Do you remember the questions you asked?
Was the feather involved in his death?
Right. Go on. There were
Did
three.
the feather come in contact with him, like his physical body or whatever? Was there any shaving cream involved?
Yes. Now, where did the swords come from?
Where did the carnival come from? And where did the gag come from?
I told you, I was talking to Lauren earlier.
This is a scandal. And I, for one, will not stand for this.
Emily,
I'm sitting.
I'm afraid we're going to have to leave this one up. Obviously, if Owen agrees, it's his prize to give away. We'll leave it up to popular vote on his fan page.
Okay, whatever.
All right, we will. I'm sorry. This is something we never thought about, that she would get it right.
Yes.
I just pulled some random shit out of my ass.
Scandal.
All right. Well,
I mean, I thought of feathers, and I thought, you tickle somebody with feathers, and I don't
who
know,
thinks that way? I'm sorry, but all right.
Well, I actually, what I was originally thinking was like somebody tickled his nose or something, but I don't know.
All
And I
right.
was like, maybe tickled his throat or something.
This is a scandal.
I mean, I've been gagged by
All right.
somebody tickling my throat with a feather, so I just thought of
Swords?
not with swords, but
Oh, God. Where is this going? What has happened to the family values? I can only say that that's the only way that I feel that this can be
or you can give me another one.
properly sussed out. It doesn't work that way. I never get another one. Neither is anybody else on this damn show. That, I don't know. Listening to that again, as I said before, my heart says, I don't believe it, but my brain says, don't be so cocky just because I didn't get it. Doesn't mean
No, I don't even think it's my jimmies. My jimmies are severely rustled, all right? I feel like I'm a whistleblower because, I mean,
I believe you compared yourself to Mr. Snowden.
I'm Snowden, I'm Julian Assange, I'm Bradley Manning. I am on par with those, and now you can add another name to that list, Owen motherfucker Chamberlain. All right, because you're going to see coming up that she's turned very anti-Owen since I called her out on her scandal and her bullshit. All right, she's dissing me. You'll see. But from the questions that she asked, there is no way. There's no way whatsoever that she could have got that with the questions that she asked. It doesn't seem right. And as Judge Judy, one of my idols, says, if something doesn't seem right, then it's probably not right. So if it seems a bit off, then it generally is off. And Emily, I'm shocked and appalled that for such a long-term listener that you would do this to the people that have treated you so
Christ.
right.
All right, calm down, sir. Calm down, man. You don't want to bust a vein, or don't you have to watch your ticker, sir? What was the prize she could have won? What could she have won?
The Walking Dead.
Sorry, that seemed appropriate for some reason. So, hopefully, by the time you're listening to this, we'll have a little poll up for you on Owen's fan page, and chime in. Let us know what you think, because in case you didn't know, Owen's calling this a scandal.
Scandalous!
So yeah, 50-50. We had somebody on. She heartfully gave away a gift, and then who knows what happened in the other 50%. No, I think the wave of absurdity is leaning towards scandal. So we shall see. So yeah, that was our first person for the I don't know what we're gonna call it, just the 10-minute listener game time scenario, something or the other.
Rose right off the tongue.
Yes, makes a great acronym too. So, if you want to get in on this, be part of the show. Little 7 to 10 minute clip, chance to win some prizes, chance to maybe develop your own scandal. Here are the requirements.
Sorry. Are there requirements?
Well, you got to be able to speak English pretty good, and
you got to learn to speak English there pretty good.
And you have to have a relatively decent mic. You can't be like, oh, I love it. Oh, it's good. So, I believe the email, if you feel you have the qualifications, if you have the balls, email us at waveofabsurdity@hotmail.com.
Why are penguins good race drivers?
I don't know. Why are they good race drivers?
Because they're always in pole position.
What's black and white and red all over?
An embarrassed penguin.
No, 4 nuns in a car accident. Okay, so since Would Owen Rather is out.
That's not funny, man.
And we were talking about things that are out. Something else that is out. See, here at Wave of Absurdity, we're going through various morphings to try to find what's best for us, what's best for you. The hero and villain thing, no, that was fun for a while, but it's kind of also convoluted. We got some emails on that. We're gonna read about that, but ultimately, oh Christ, Owen's barely containing himself on His rage. So, you know what? Let's just jump into the heroes and villains. We had asked if you were on a train and one of us was the villain in the front of the train and the other person was the hero. Oh, did I mention your legs were broken?
Dun dun dun.
You have to get from the back of the train to the front. The hero will try to help. The villain will try to stop you. Who would you want? Owen to be the hero? Phil to be the hero? The other person would end up being the villain. What would be your best chances of survival? Owen, do you have an email up that you'd like to read about that?
Oh, I actually have one from Emily.
Sorry, Emily.
Believe it or not.
We're throwing you under the train. Oh!
And she says, I pick Phil to be the hero because he is probably stronger than Owen is since he hikes and bikes a lot and doesn't have girly lungs like Owen does.
To be fair, you were the one that said you had girly lungs.
Well, you pointed it out, asshole. Okay. So he won't get fatigued quickly, thus getting me to the front of the train faster and kicking Owen's ass faster.
Oh. Sorry, it's a brief erotic moment there. Yeah.
I doubt we will have to worry about Owen disconnecting the cars because I don't think his girly lungs could handle it. Knowing Owen, he will probably start defending himself right now, so allow me to explain.
Ooh, she's got you pegged.
Yeah. It probably takes a lot of upper body strength to disconnect the cars when the train is not moving, so one can only assume that it would be 10 times more difficult to disconnect them while they are moving. I feel Owen's girly lungs will not be able to handle it, thus increases my chances of survival even more.
I don't even... Do you know how to... I've never seen in between two train cars.
Don't you just, like, gingerly pluck, like, the peg with your index finger and thumb and just slide it out whilst twirling your mustache?
Yeah, you pull a big pin out, like, clunk. And then it just... These days, you probably press a button.
I know, man. We've become a pussy. I actually imagine...
Sorry, you made that sound like a big collective. We've become a pussy. Great.
I'm the left labia. So I actually... It continues. I actually imagined how the scenario would play out, and I pictured Phil delivering a kung fu roundhouse kick to Owen's face whilst carrying me. I imagined Owen flying off the train and then landing on the ground and dying like the people did. It's not funny. In the movie we watched on live stream. Ooh, shout out to the live stream. Picturing that was almost as fun as picturing Phil eating orgasm soup. Emily.
She smokes.
You see where the bitterness has come from? I expose her for the scandal that she is.
Oh, well... I don't know what lungs have to do with the train car.
Thanks, Phil. You defend me, buddy.
I'm not defending you. I'm looking at the logic of the situation.
But it just so happens to be defending me, so good on you, buddy. Thanks, pal.
Well, let's see. Let's see what other people had to say on that particular scenario. Matt K. First thing is the train scenario, and I have to pick Phil as the hero and Owen as the villain, as I think a good way Phil can distract Owen to get past is to use his awesome impression talents to confuse Owen. Yeah? Yeah?
Hello, I'm a fox. Hello, I'm a dog. Hello, I'm Warwick Davis. Hello, I'm Officer Cox. Hello, I'm the bear.
Also, I think Phil might allow me to disconnect the cars wrong when we get to the front anyway, as I would have gotten bored by then and would want something to do. Well, those were about the two most coherent ones that we got. So, I don't know. We got an email. Might as well pop out the other emails here. Test subject? I don't even want to touch that one. Oh, that's right. He sent an image.
I mean... There's just been a load of venom against me, okay?
Oh yeah, this one does start rather slanderous against you as well.
Do you want to read it? Do you want to read the start of it? I'm down already. You might as well kick me while I'm down, eh? You might as well do it.
I love that. Firstly, let me say, Owen, don't rap. You know what? I'm I don't know how you're going to take that. I've dealt with this many times before. If you can't sing a rap, then shut the fuck up and sit down, Pam Ferry. Secondly, Phil's ways of masturbating makes me question how clean his penis really is. Sorry, I don't like the thought of somebody sitting there pondering my penis cleanliness. The Lonely Island wouldn't even work on me because being a person my size, the whole penis would be out of the water. Yes, my bathtub is really shallow.
Oh, you're just fat.
One thing Owen left out of Masturbate of a Debater, oh, a little tricky, about pencils is the hundreds of millions of students and adult visual artists, writers, and mathematicians who are bound to make a mistake or change their projects. I'm not interested in that part. Sorry, test subject. If Phil says some shit like, you should be professional to not make a mistake, then it's clear to see why Owen has the greater mind. Wow, he's just flip-flopping back and forth here.
I do like that one. Yeah, I do agree with you there, but the rap thing, I mean, I'm a great rapper.
I think you're a proficient rapper. You just have shitty lyrics. Oh, how do you like that? Kicking you while you're down.
I rhyme persnickety. All right. The words, they rhyme. I put a little bit of finesse on it.
He picked you to be the hero. He would have an emergency BFG at the ready. Big fucking.
Do you know what that is? Oh, okay.
All right. Jesus Christ.
Just saying, you don't play games.
I don't play games as much now as I did when I was younger, but come on now. That's ancient. Anyway, an attempt to kill Phil while Phil tries to change ricochet the shot. All right. I'm done, test subject. I'm sorry. It's a toss-up between you. Well, actually, Scott's email was more coherent this time around. Actually, he had a pretty good suggestion for MouthPhil, which we'll save for some other time, because we're certainly not doing MouthPhil today. Any other emails? Oh, Alexi and... Oh, it's two people. I don't know which one this is. It's either Alexi or Francis. And
why not both?
Because how could they both choose you?
Just read it.
Plus he or she says I. I would choose Owen as my hero only because, in caps, I would say, he's only gone and bloody done it. And, oh yeah, every time he did something cool. And when we got to Phil in the engine room, I would demand Owen to let me go at him with my fisticuffs, even though my legs are broken. I probably wouldn't win, but I would still do it. All right.
I like that.
And thus ends the short life of heroes and villains. Why don't we get to that there new... Oh, wait. Am I supposed to remind you about some sort of rant?
Is there a rant coming? No, I don't have a rant. Scandalous!
I thought you had a rant in addition to the scandal.
Well. I don't think so. But I have a new feature. Seems that Phil's killing off all the other ones.
Sorry, I'm trying to, trim the fat, baby.
Well, I thought that, again, it does seem like I'm the one only... Oh.
Careful.
It's only an expensive iPhone I've just smashed. It seems like I'm the only one here making... Thanks, Phil. Thanks for caring about me. About that. It doesn't matter. I'm the one
You're
making...
still talking.
Well,
I mean, if you're like, call 911 and then tell them to call the London 911.
Oh, it's not London. So, Street Pass is a new feature that I've made. It's going to be very...
Based off of my idea.
It's not based off your idea at all.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Rob Nosher. You see, you're faffing me gaffs now. Now I'm all over the bloody place. I don't know. Street Pass. Okay, so this is going to be a feature, and it's not going to be... It's going to be wishy-washy, because to get this feature, I actually have to go outside, and, well, that doesn't happen very often.
Fuck that.
Exactly. So the great idea of Street Pass is when you're in a busy place, you sometimes have the tendency to overhear people's conversations. And generally, because you're usually walking past each other, you only get snippets of their conversations. So I've decided to jot down some of the best ones that I've come across in the past week or so. And Phil, you too can do this.
Okay.
Because it's universal like that. So the first one, what can only be described as three hoodlums.
Okay. Ruffians, roughnecks.
Little ruffians were coming towards me, and I only heard this in a quite dramatic and rushed tone. Whatever you do, shit in the toilet.
Sound advice.
I don't know what kind of scenario he's gotten himself into where somebody doesn't know how to shit into a toilet. But
Were there other options? Oh, my mom's favorite hat? No. This catalytic converter? No. The toilet? Oh, make sure you shit in the toilet.
So I would love to find out the origins of that story. Another one I heard, which is actually on my birthday, which is past now, but I'm 22. Yay. Shout out for me. Snuck that one in there.
I was going to ask you that in the beginning of the podcast, but I thought you probably didn't want to talk about what you did to your sister.
So after having sex with my sister, I went outside and
listen to other people's conversations.
So this one was from a nice elderly group. There was just two couples talking. And as I walked by them, I heard, "Don't worry, we've bought some hallucinogenic cheese for the kids."
Oh, you should have asked for some. Excuse me, I couldn't help but hear your conversation.
Hallucinogenic cheese?
You sure you didn't hear him wrong? I mean, I can't think of what hallucinogenic cheese sounds like. That would be like
no, I was with my friend, and when we both had it, we both passed each other. We were just like, did they just say hallucinogenic cheese?
They must be talking about cheddar.
And thus a feature was born based on those crazy old people. So I'm sure there's going to be more to come, especially if Phil and I work together as a team and get out there and hustle.
I will try more when I'm out to eavesdrop in on snippets of conversation.
And maybe you, the listener, could recite some of the best ones that you've heard and email them at waveofabsurdity@hotmail.com. Let's get this feature steam rolling.
Indeed. Speaking of steam rolling,
Cheese wheels.
Maybe.
Sorry, I thought you said something that related to cheese and rolling.
Hallucinogenic cheese wheels. Right up my alley. Maybe, just maybe, Owen can win some Steam prizes for somebody right now. Little contest called the Headline Challenge.
Still hasn't got a good name.
Hey, whatever. I'm sorry if all your challenges are based off of my name and some shitty wordplay. Okay.
At least it works.
All right, so Owen does not want to win you some games. In this, I will read a handful of headlines. Owen has to figure out which one is the one I made up. And if he does, he will win a game to give away in a manner of his choice, however he feels like it. And the prize this time will be the lesser humble bundle, which I really don't know what's in it. I just got it as a prize.
Dead Space 3, Mirror's Edge, add Crisis 2 Maximum Edition.
Sounds fun.
Dead Space 1's alright. 3 I haven't played. Mirror's Edge, fantastic game. Crisis 2 sucks balls, so you're not really winning much.
All right, Owen, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 headlines this time.
This is bullshit, okay? Last time there was only 3.
There were 4. This one is incredibly difficult. Hey, screw you! Screw motherfucking you! Lateral thinkings are very difficult. Anyway, are you ready?
Yes.
Antagonism. Let's have a little oomph and fanfare. Try to sound like you're enjoying yourself. All right. Just going to read them out.
Yet?
All right, here we go. Just going to read them out. Oh, and whichever one you pick, I will either send you a link, meaning you got it wrong, or I will, I don't know, send you some humorous little text in Skype and see if you read it out loud. Here we go.
Dramatic music, go.
Vampire wannabe can't find victim, bites self, almost bleeds to death. Men try to pass off box filled with ice as iPads. Flasher offers $200 to kiss ass. Burglars kill goldfish to make sure no witnesses are left. Man charged with bestiality after mice found with no tails smothered in Vaseline with strings attached. Man found guilty of worst bowel movement ever. Man in pink raincoat robs store, comes back to return 32 cents. One of those was submitted by Emily in private.
Okay, well, how do I know? How do I know that this is... She could claim it's a legitimate news story, but it could not be.
Oh,
Scandal!
man. I knew that was going to happen, but I felt I should bring it up. Anyway, I appreciate that.
Well, I think people are stupid enough to buy a box filled with ice and claim it's iPad, so I think that's I don't think that one's fake. I believe I've heard about the goldfish murder or something similar, like killing pets, so there's no... It's a messed up thing to do, so there's no witnesses. I don't know what the hell a goldfish is going to tell to the... Yeah, I saw him, but you ain't getting it from me. I'm no snitch.
I need a witness protection program.
I need a different bowl.
Why are the goldfish so rugged in our little scenario here?
Man, goldfish are like...
They're hard.
Oh, crikey. We've been around this tank. So... What was the first two again, please?
Vampire wannabe can't find victim, bites self, almost bleeds to death. Men try to pass off box filled with ice as iPads. Flasher offers $200 to kiss ass.
Okay, so I think I've got it down to the two. I either think it's the vampire.
What's up?
I think it's either the vampire or the flasher to kiss ass.
Okay. Are you gonna pick one, or are you just gonna?
Yes,
say
I'm just narrowing it down. I'm just gonna get a new podcasting partner.
Swim with the goldfish.
Now, I'm unsure where just the pure absurdity of biting yourself and bleeding out. Where would you do that when you wouldn't bite his wrist? Surely nobody would be that stupid. And you can't really bite anywhere else that would make you bleed out. So I think that's very absurd. I do believe that a flasher would pay somebody to kiss ass. I don't know what that's about. But I'm going to go with the vampire, purely for the fact because it just seems so absurd. And I don't know where you'd bite yourself to bleed out all over the place, apart from the wrist. I just think that's crazy.
Well, that is crazy. Is that your final answer?
It's my answer final.
All right.
What is fake?
I will
did it
now
in Jeopardy format.
send in this over Skype.
Persnickety.
Vampire wannabe can't find victim, bites self, almost bleeds to death is in fact made up completely. Well
yeah.
done.
Now, can I just say that I think I can read you better than you can read me? Because twice I've gotten your fake emails down to the last two. Well, your last news stories.
Okay. Well, you didn't win the last one, so I think out of two, you're only doing 50-50.
How many lateral thinkers have you won? Huh?
Well, lateral thinkings are not you. It's not. I'm not reading you.
That would be
Lateral
a bloody
thinking's
good buck.
So
With knives.
how are you going to dispense
Pedals.
this prize? Are you going to give it out randomly, or what do you think you're going to do there?
Well, there's been a lot of anti-Owen going on in this podcast. So I think just send in an email that's pro-Owen, that can help lift my spirits. And anyone that does that will all go into a pot, and I'll just pick one at random.
Everybody going into a pod, email in waveofabsurdity@hotmail.com. Say something nice about Owen. Maybe you'll win a prize. All right. Well, as long as we're here at the news, you can look all those headlines up yourself if you're listening and you're bored. I'm going to read a news article that caught my fancy, and I think it'll catch everyone else's fancy. A 55-year-old woman in the Netherlands seemed to be experiencing orgasms emanating from her foot, she said. Now, this is the explanation that was posited by some doctor. The applicable left foot nerve enters the spinal cord at about the same level as the vaginal nerve, and the woman's recent foot injury might have caused the nerves to cross. The woman reported 5 or 6 orgasms per day that felt exactly like regular orgasms, she said, and they were making her feel terribly guilty and embarrassed. Oh, she got a nerve treatment, and she reported being orgasm-free, in the foot at least, for 8 months. Why would you stop that? If you could just walk around and get off, I don't know.
I do that anyway. I just sniff women's hair as they go by.
All right, well, so let me get this straight. You're eavesdropping, you're sniffing hair, you got like a notepad. Oh, that's good for the podcast. Nice. I'll put this in the podcast.
It brings in the features.
If you were receiving 5 or 6 orgasms a day just from walking. Ooh, do you hear the ice cream man? No.
Ice cream break, guys. We'll be back.
It's just talking about vaginal nerve endings and that killed my walking orgasm vibe.
I think we should move on to
chocolate orgasms. Huh?
Perhaps we should probably move on to some of the best features. Incidentally, they're mine.
Just giving away prizes. That's fine.
I think that this is probably my new favorite feature, along with MouthPhil, I guess, and it's feeling Phil. Let's play words. Feeling ill. So, Phil, if you could randomly select a body part, one that you haven't done before, and tell us how it's doing.
My penis.
How's it doing?
It's doing fine. It's feeling a bit envious of this woman who can, 5 or 6 orgasms just by having a nice stroll.
I'm sure many people were waiting for that answer and are instantly let down. On to another one of my features. Fill in the blank.
You know, when we go through them like this, it's really quite disturbing.
Hey, they're quickies, all right? They're quickies.
Okay. All right. Just like sex with your sister. I am ready for the game.
So is my sister.
Ayo.
Right. So fill in the blank.
Wait, before you do fill in the blank, I need to ask, have you ever watched a movie with your sister that contained a very gratuitous sex scene? And if so, was there any awkwardness? Or are you just like, sex scene, I'm going to get something to drink?
No. We generally... Well, as kids, obviously, growing up, we always had that sort of repelling nature about us. Like, we would never be in the same room.
Gotcha.
We always had that little stupid sibling rivalry going on.
Right,
but,
right, okay. Well, any family member then, anybody that you... Is this a difficult subject for you?
I think... I'm not sure. It might have been with my sister that we were flipping through. We were in the living room, and one of the rare occasions that we were playing nicely, we were flipping through the channels, and we came across a big black dude pounding it was a vintage porn, so a big black dude, pounding a Marilyn Monroe lookalike, and my mother burst in the door as we quickly changed the channel. She's like, "What are you doing?" It's just like,
vintage porn.
Take a pew.
Oh, Christ.
My childhood is just filled with porn, knives, and scars.
I know, that's, you mix them all together.
And you get me.
And thus, the villain was born.
And thus, the wave of absurdity was born.
All right. So,
Where do
Villain-
penguins keep their money?
in their suits. I
In
don't
a
know.
snowbank.
Oh, Christ. Fill in the blank.
Bringing the penguin jokes back. Fill in the blank is a feature where I half read a quote, then Phil fills it in with his hilarious witticisms. And a good time is had all around.
I try to make them better.
Well, I never tell you the full quote, so we never...
I know this. I like to think
I
that
don't
I'm
know why we
always
still
making
do
them
this
better.
one, to be honest. I don't know. Okay.
So when you want to drop this too? Let's just do a whole nother
Here we go.
podcast.
Fill in the blank, number 1. Try to be like a turtle.
Who learns by observation?
At ease with your own shell. See, I've just finished it off for a change.
Okay.
There you go. That was good. That was a good one. That was a good one. Just not reading them.
So,
Every
I don't-
moment and every event of every man's life on planet. every
I don't.
every moment and every event of every man's life on Earth's planet. No.
How about another one?
I have looked into your eyes with my eyes.
Thank you.
All right? I have put your heart near your heart. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single...
A single. All right, I need to reset my brain. Read it again, and I will just spit out the first thing.
Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single
mushroom.
candle. And the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being charred.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You could have read a little more of that. Here, let me do one for you.
Wave of Absurdity is the best podcast I've ever heard.
Oh man!
And one more. I believe in pink.
Because it's much easier than drawing the line between anger and disappointment.
I believe that laughing is the best calorie burner. I believe in kissing. Kissing a lot. I believe in being strong.
What's
when
going on here? You're just reading stuff. I don't know what's going on.
All right, let's move on to Master Debater.
Sorry.
Now, last week's Master Debater, no, 3 weeks, you can't. Last Master Debater was about the glorious pen versus pencils. And I was kind of annoyed because I wanted to use this in my argument that Phil didn't bring up pen is mightier than a sword, because I would have smushed that argument.
Why would I bring up something that would work against me?
Well, because you're silly like that. So we have the results in for that debate. The winner is Phil. Now, the next...
Wait. This has nothing to do with you glossing over my triumph. I just want to take the time to point out to people playing along or voting that we specifically are looking for you to vote not necessarily which one you agree with as far as what we're debating, but you're voting on who presented the better debate. Now, a lot of you are doing that, but some of you aren't. And it's really putting the hallucinogens in our cheese. So, just a quick reminder, now Owen will reveal the topic of debate.
Probably the greatest debate is about to happen. The greatest debate across any century. The greatest debate across any solar system, any galaxy, any universe. It's only T-Tiles versus Oven Mitts.
All right, so our usual format is 2 minutes apiece, 2 minutes a rebuttal apiece, and then a 1 minute wrap up apiece. So Owen will now use the random number generator to determine who will be what.
All right, Phil is odd. I'm even. Let's generate that number. Ooh, 3.
All right. Mitts, or I'm going to be oven mitts. Yeah.
It's going to be oven mitts. Okay, and we're going to roll again to see who gets to pick who goes first. Ooh, 41. Oh, it's just coming up Phil today, huh? Yeah.
I will go first. Unusual.
What?
I know.
Gosh.
I kind of wish you had a big stack of pots to push over there. Like, what?
Well, that's something.
Yeah. Well, I think this
The
will give me.
times, they be a-changing.
All right, my phone just crapped out, and that's what I was using as a timer. So I will, in a gentlemanly way, expect you to keep track of that.
Okay, tell me when.
Let me just gather my thoughts. Screw it. I can't gather my thoughts on something so absurdly mundane. I will just start now. Good day to you, and to you. Oven mitts. They're made specifically for grasping hot, delicious items out of the oven. Now, you can use a tea towel, but they don't have the firm grip, all right? You don't stick your hand into a tea towel. You kind of have to scrunch it up and make it go the right way. And there is a very, very strong possibility that you will accidentally expose your flesh and touch some hot metal. I mean, it's draped over, you probably used it to clean up something, so it's probably wet and nasty anyway. And then you're going and you're trying to get in the oven, and it's falling off your hand, it's falling onto the oven rack, it's falling into your food. You might get threads in your nice little meal that you just made. It's an irregular way to retrieve hot items. An oven mitt, it's like a glove designed. It's like hiring a firefighter to come in and get your food out. You're wearing some hardcore protection. And they have a variety of oven mitts to suit your particular personality. You can get the kind that have colorful decorations, yet still have that kind of not Teflon, but that hard coating, that heat-resistant coating, and you don't have to worry about anything falling off. You just operate naturally. You reach in, you grab that stuff, you pull it out. Tea towels, that's a little archaic. That's before people thought, hey, why don't we just make gloves specifically for this? Sure, tea towels are a little bit cheaper in price, but that's because they're a cheaper solution. Go strong or go home. Oven mitts
10 seconds.
are great and better than tea towels.
Time! This guy. I will take my 2 minutes. Now, do you know why this guy loves ovens so much? Mein Führer, Phil. Do we know why this guy loves ovens? We're not going to go there just yet. But what I will do is I will dismantle his argument meticulously, piece by glorious piece.
Mm-hmm.
Oven mitts are a one-use pony. They're a one-trick cat, right? You can only use them for one thing, and that's to put your grubby little hands in to get your grubby little food from your grubby little oven, all right? That's basically all they are. Tea towels have many uses, which I will get to in a bit. Now, I don't know what kind of raggy tea towels Phil has to get straws and strands into your food and all of that, but civilized people don't let their possessions get to such a state of where it's just falling apart, dematerializing in front of their hands, because we're not grubby people, Phil. We're not grubby people at all. And sure, you can have the potential to burn yourself more with a tea towel, but you want to know a simple trick? A simple trick that anybody can do is you get the tea towel and you fold it. And if you don't think that's thick enough, you fold it again. And now you've got yourself the perfect heat shield to any hot tray. And another thing that I should also say is that, yes, Phil, tea towels can also come in snazzy colors and decorations too. All right, so I don't know why you were trying to bring that up, because any customization that you can have on a oven mitt is also readily available to the tea towels. Now, what other uses can a tea towel have? You could do the old fun whip the people game, you know, where you twirl the tea towel around, you go, whacha, whack people in their ass and they run around screaming. It's a good game. You can also dry things. You can't really do that with an oven mitt. And like Phil said, they're cheaper, which,
Sorry. Oh.
See, I play by the rules, all right? I don't go over a second.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. All right. I will take my response time now. You say that, that you've kind of implied that the, what is it, rag? We'll just call it a rag because that's what it is. That the rag is a multi-tool in the kitchen. Well, I have two responses to that. One is one tool for one job. If you cook even the slightest, if you use the oven at all, you know that when the time comes, gotta get it out of the oven. You don't have to think like, let me go find that towel and fold it over once, fold it over twice, fold it over thrice. Oh, it's falling off. No, boom, oven mitts on, in there. All right, so if
You're an idiot.
If you, hey. No comments, please. So, all right, maybe there are multiple uses for oven mitts, okay? You put a potato in an oven mitt. It's an excellent home defense weapon. Have you ever been hit with a potato in an oven mitt? It fucking smarts. All right. And by your own admittance, by your own words, Owen, you called your tool, the one you're defending, grubby. So
I called you grubby.
No, you're using a towel for different things. You're smacking people's asses with it. Why not just use some toilet paper then? Okay. Oh, here, let me make you something in the oven and then use my ass-snapping towel to retrieve it. Delicious. And you know what? There are some customizations just for oven mitts that are not available for tea towels. Yeah. Finger grooves, okay? Yeah, you don't see those on tea towels. All right, so sure, if you're like Owen and you're cooking stuff, you're entertaining guests, go ahead and use that scummy towel, that piece of toilet paper that wasn't really designed.
Time. It wasn't designed.
I was just thinking he could just say that whenever he wants. I don't know.
I would take I'm a good guy. 2 minutes.
You called me a cock in the middle of my debate. An idiot.
Oh, yeah, like you've never joined in when I was speaking. I would take my 2 minutes rebuttal. Oh, now.
Cock lover.
Fine. Okay. So, I don't understand on what kind of, it's not funny, what kind of Narnia drawers Phil's got in his bloody apartment or house or whatever, that you put a tea towel down and whoop! It's gone forever and you got to search the whole kitchen. No, do you know what sane people do? We've got cupboards. Everybody has cupboards. You just put the tea towel over the handle of the cupboard or through the handle and it's there. You know where it is. Or you just put it over the oven. What many people do. They always have one there because they drag it down, they whip it out, they wrap it around the hands. Boom, bong, bish. You've got yourself some nice hands and some delicious food too. Now, can I just say that if you lose on a tea towel, it's a great shame. But it's not over. It's not over because you're bound to have more. Has anybody ever tried to lift a heavy dish with only one oven mitt? It's crazy. What if you lose two? If you lose one oven mitt, you're down to one. And what if it's your weak hand? Oh no, I'm right-handed. I've only got a left-handed oven mitt. I've got a roast chicken in the oven. My God, this is a heavy dish. I don't know if I could do this. I'm going to have to get my tea towel, which I've so horribly dissed, to help support this big ash dish. All right? It's going to happen. So, sure, a tea towel can get lost, but that's not the end of that utensil. One oven mitt goes, well, you might as well just call that a loss, write it up on expenses and throw that bitch out because you're never going to be using that again. All right, it's gone. It's gone. Again, Phil never even picked on the fact that most people use their tea towels to dry things. Okay, again, multi-purpose, way more useful than a oven mitt. And again, like I said, also cheaper. Phil also agrees that my product is cheaper, which is, in this economy, is great for the everyday work time.
I love the way you deflate when it's time. Like those wacky, wavy arm things, and somebody shuts the air off. Hero. All right. I will take my 1 minute, I guess, summary. I don't know the official labels for these debate
Closing statements.
Closing statements, thank you. All right. I will take it now. Go ahead. Drape your nasty, fire hazard, ass-slapping cleaning tool, your snot-filled, cheap-ass cum rag. Drape it out in the open, okay? Because we're using it to clean up spills, let's face it. It's got semen on it. Yeah, hang that out in the open, because that's not going to do you any good. And if you lose one oven mitt, guess what? You have another one. If you lose one T-rag, guess what? You're going to get burned, okay? I stand by the notion that, in this case, you do not want this item to be a multifunction tool. That's like, oh, this is a fire extinguisher, and it's also a screwdriver. No, I want my oven mitts to be oven mitts. They are a pair. They hang up over the oven. They certainly dress the place up. They're for smart people. That's all. Go ahead. Use a tea towel. Stupid.
I would take my closing 1 minute. Now, this guy has really got nothing against me. Everybody knows you can easily wash a tea towel if it does get dirty. I mean, nobody's slapping bare asses with a tea towel. I mean, come on, you got your hands for that. Again, he doesn't bring up that it can be used for drying, and he admits that oven mitts are just a one-use tool. Well, bollocks to that. We live in an age where the more uses, the better. Look at phones. They've just exploded into multi-use things. Look at Xbox. That's exploded into an entertainment section. Look at pen knives. You don't just have a guy going out with a ladle, a knife, and all this crap, and a corkscrew and a bottle opener. No, we all want multi-use products, and the tea towel is a perfect multi-use tool for the everyday man out there.
Time.
Phil's got nothing. I've still got 10 seconds. And Phil's got nothing against this. All right, he's got nothing against this. Do the right thing. Don't vote for MouthPhil Phil, the Jew oven basting baking shit.
It's a good thing you threw that in there. We almost got away with not having reference me to Hitler. I found this to be a very difficult master debater.
I did not.
I know. I could tell from your arguments that you didn't really give it much thought. Watch your growing lungs there.
Oh. That gasp got
right.
to be.
Would you rather, Owen, when faced with an attacking grizzly bear, be armed with a guitar made of solid maple or with a saxophone? With the saxophone, I've called it a saxophone ever since the goddamn Simpsons.
A saxophone? I guess the saxophone, and I can make sweet, sweet music to calm the grizzly beast down. Mm-hmm.
Really? Let's say instead of a saxophone, it was a recorder.
Well, obviously, I'm going to go for that. That's my weapon of choice.
You can play that one song, the one that goes...
Why is this an Owen Bash? It's just an Owen Bash.
Oh, boy. All right.
Lateral thinking. Finally, after winning this debate, I get to torment Phil some more.
Okay.
Brilliant. So, lateral thinking, I'm not going to explain it. I've explained it far too many times. And if you just joined in, you've picked a fabulous time to join in, dare I say. So, lateral thinking, we all know how the game's played. If
what are
you
they playing for?
Living under a rock.
On the spot. Reach into your game archives or whatever.
You done there?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you done. Okay. talked about this before. So the game you're playing for, Phil. So
For
the
me?
game you're. So the game you're playing for, Phil, is
Yes. yes.
So the game you're playing for, Phil, is The Walking Dead, the Telltale game. The good one. Dun, dun, dun. Really good. Fantastic game. Can't wait for Season 2. If you haven't played it, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's on Steam, and I'll send you a Steam key. If Phil is able to get this lateral thinking. I've picked an easy one, I feel. So he should be, in fact, be winning his first lateral thinking.
Second.
His first lateral thinking this season.
No.
And his second lateral thinking in, a year.
They're hard.
So, here's to you. I'm going to read the question, and then you're going to have a minute to answer as many yes or no questions, and then I will give you the answer. A dead man lies near a pile of bricks and a beetle on top of a book. What's all that about? Your time starts now.
So, was the beetle part of his death?
Yes.
Okay. Directly related to his death?
Yes.
Were the bricks directly related to his death as well?
Yes.
So wait. So, was there... I forgot the first... There were books? What happened? The beetle's on top of bricks? All right. Did something fall down? Were there a lot of bricks?
A dead man lies near a pile of bricks and a beetle on top of a book.
Oh, all right. Beetle on top of a book. Is the book important in this scenario? The title of the book, is it important? The subject of the book.
Yes.
Is it a book about beetles?
Yeah, yes.
Great. I wish I could take that somewhere. Was the book directly related to the death? Was he
Yes.
using the book to kill the beetle? No.
No.
A book about beetles.
Time! I'll let you ask one more question, because I'm a nice guy.
Did the bricks fall?
Yes.
I have all these clues. What the hell?
To be honest, you did get a lot of yeses. There's a lot of things there.
All right, a book about beetles, and there's a beetle on top. I guess he wasn't trying to kill the beetle and horribly, comically took the house down around him. But the bricks killed him. Oh wait, I can't get any more questions.
I didn't say the bricks killed him. They were part of it.
Part
remember?
of it. This is messy.
I know you could do this. If you really think, I know you can do this.
I should have asked more of it. All right.
Come on. Shh. I know you can do it.
Shut it!
I believe in you.
He was on top of the book.
Got a good feeling about this one.
He was identifying a beetle. How is this all tied together?
I'm going to have to ask for an answer,
know.
please, Phil.
The bricks were part of it. A pile of bricks. He was, in fact, an exterminator. That's all I have. He was an exterminator, and he didn't know. This is going to be something about, I don't know, a brick-eating beetle or some shit. He was reading about, does it eat away the foundation of your brick wall? Yes, it does. Kaboom! I don't have anything good for an answer. My brain's on fire from all the yeses that I got.
You're going to kick yourself.
I can. I can bring my foot up quickly enough to jam my heel in my buttocks.
Can you stand up and demonstrate?
Well, yeah, it doesn't have much of a sound impact.
Give it a good wallop. Go on.
Well, no. Let me hear the answer.
Oh, no, this is good for pausing the game. Come on. Let's,
This is good. What?
Go on. It's good. Go on. Let's hear it.
No. Maybe if I hear the answer and want to kick myself, I will.
You are
Incorrect.
wrong.
What's the answer?
The man was an amateur mechanic. The book is a Volkswagen service manual. The beetle is a car. And the pile of bricks is what the car fell off.
The first thing, and you will hear it in the recording, is that I should have asked about the beetle. As far as, was it a bug?
Oh, I bet you want to kick yourself
Oh.
now, huh?
Although if I asked, was it really a bug, you would have said yes, because the beetle, well, they don't really call it a bug. Anyway, no.
If you said animal, I would have said no.
Well, yeah, insect. All right, well, sorry, folks.
We're all animals.
It's easy for Owen to say, oh, this one's simple, because when he reads it with the answer.
No, I read them, and then I think, and then I go, oh, too hard. Then I look at the answer and go, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, well, that was worth a shot. Maybe next time. Although possibly next time it might be a reversey episode. Oh, can't wait.
Well, it's been a lovely podcast. I hope that the next podcast isn't such a scandal.
Don't forget to
Emily.
email in waveofabsurdity@hotmail.com for anything and everything. If you need help, if you want help, if you have an interesting news story. Thank you, Matt K. We did get your news. We just kind of ran out of time. Don't forget, you may win a prize. Email in something nice about Owen. You could win that Humble Bundle, the Humble Bundle Plus, or whatever. I don't know what to call it, the one with the extra games. No, wait, no, sorry. You don't win that. You win the regular one. Jack gets the Humble Bundle with the extra stuff. So, waveofabsurdity@hotmail.com. All right, Owen.
It's time for Mamma Mia. That's a nice mouthful. I say it wrong, and you never correct me on it.
That's all right.
You've given up.
I have. I've given up on a lot of things with you, Owen. All right.
Ooh.
Scott had mailed in something that tickled my pickle as far as, instead of reading about the food I'm eating, I'm going to take a important piece of history, a popular oration, and read it to you while enjoying some food. I have some graham crackers here that are probably going to go stale soon, so I better munch them down now.
Nope. Can I just say, as the founder of MouthPhil, I think it's a terrible idea.
All right.
Take it away.
What would you suggest then?
More facts.
All right. Well, I'm going to read, it's an excerpt from a speech by Alexander the Great, 335 BC, trying to keep the morale of his men up so that they would continue to fight. All right. Delicious graham crackers. Oh, they already are stale. I could not have blamed you for being the first to lose heart if I, your commander, am not shared in your exhausting marches and your perilous campaigns. I'm spitting this all over the place. It would have been natural enough if you had done all the work merely for others to reap the reward. But it's not so. You and I, gentlemen, have shared the labor and shared the danger. And the rewards are for us all. The conquered territory belongs to you. From your ranks, the governors of it are chosen. Already, the greater part of its treasures passes into your hands. And when all Asia is overrun, then indeed I will go further than the mere satisfaction of our ambitions. Wow. The ants are going to have a field day with this. I spit graham crackers all over this motherfucker. Good night.
Good night.
Would that have been different with facts? You really like facts?
People like facts, Phil. All right? People like facts.
Quick! Roleplay!
No. You gotta do it with a bit more finesse. Quick! Roleplay. for this.
I don't yeah.
We are. I thought about this while you were doing your MouthPhil. We are two fully erect, lubed up penises engaging in a dangerous sword fight.
I thought you were going to say a dangerous game of cat and mouse.
And we've got arms in this scenario. We're actually carrying swords, all right?
So wait, the penises themselves are not the swords.
No. We're not going to be gay here. I mean, nothing else. We're changing the literal. Hey, we're unseen.
How about you, knave?
Croaky, I'm going to cut your sack from ear to ear.
I am wearing rubber armor. You shall never puncture this. Ha ha!
Oh, yeah? What'd you think about the spunk attack?
Secret spunk attack. Nut hair launch.
My arms, they appear to be tied. Quick, think of hot busty woman.
My God,
break
he's
these.
grown to twice his size. Run away. I'm stuck.
Charge.
Come on, you lousy balls. Do something.
Slice.
My main vein.
Slice. Oh, God, there's blood everywhere.
You've defeated me.
Oh, gee.
Tell my owner I don't like being put in the dog.
Turns out I'm a vampire penis. It's good blood. You want some?
I'll pass. Gotta get the graham cracker taste out of my mouth. With non-penisy stuff.
Hello, Chair. Is there any blood for Neil over here? Is there any blood for O'Neill?
All right. Thanks for listening. Wave of Absurdity at Hotmail.
Hello, Chair Phil. Did you miss me? I'm so sorry I couldn't get the first
Fade to
half of the
silence.
podcast there. Hey, Phil. Did you Phil? Did you meet Phil? Hey, Chair Phil. Phil.
Cue closing music.
Hello, Chair Phil.
We need a closing song.
We got a closing song. I mean, we got a closing song there, you cunt.
What is it?
It's the... I realized at the start that I was just recreating something else.
That's fine. I will just assume that you have stopped the editing, the recording.